Next up, we have
Ben Hong,
Ben. Where are you from?
DC.
You run DC Vue Meetup, right?
That I do.
There you go. So thanks for doing that. And what is your lightning talk on?
How to start your own Vue.js Meetup.
All right. You're on deck.
All right, thanks. All right, everybody. So as you know, we're here to talk about starting your own Vue.js Meetup. And so, as you know, I am one of the co-founders of Vue DC, and the other co-founder, Chris Guerreri, is right in front here as well attending. And so we are the best and only Vue DC-centric meetup in the DC metro area, which essentially encompasses Virginia, Maryland, and Washington, DC, for those that aren't from the area. So obviously, with the first half of the day, I think a lot of people are very excited about the prospect of building everything with Vue, and you'll feel even more so when you're leaving this conference. And after Jacob's talk, obviously this is more build all new things with Vue, not necessarily legacy code. But that said, so getting started is actually very simple. First thing you got to do is choose a name. And so in traditional programming, we all know that we agonize over variable names, but luckily, choosing a name for yourself is pretty simple. It's just Vue, your city. That's pretty much it. It doesn't get much harder than that. In the event, however, you have someone who may have taken the handle or whatnot, then just add JS. And then you're pretty much covered. Maybe add a hyphen if someone else is really being a jerk, but otherwise, you're pretty much good. Step 2, grab all the branding things. The two most important ones to consider are your Twitter handle and your sort of, whether it's Meetup or Invite, whatever you like to use for your event management. Make sure you get those. Otherwise, some other ones to consider if you want to actually have your own domain name. Google for eventually if you want to do a YouTube channel. So one of the things we like to do is we use screencasts to record our talks, and we're trying to upload the, our talks as we have them. And Instagram if you're into that as well. And step 3 is just a matter of getting the venue and setting a date. It's really easy to get caught up in trying to set up, oh, do I have a speaker, a perfect talk? Get your venue, get your date, that's where you start. And so, places that you need to consider are obviously your own workplace. If that's not an option, then you can obviously go to community centers. I've known that co-working spaces are usually pretty friendly towards meetups as well because they want to advertise their space and show it off. So that's a great place to check out. And obviously, for anyone that starts to join your meetup group or whatnot, ask to see if anyone else wants to host. We've had very good luck with that as well. And then step 4, as far as the meetup logistics. The key things to keep in mind are whether your location is easily accessible, if you have a choice, so that you consider things like public transit. Is it easy for people to park? That can impact a lot of attendance for your meetup. And then as far as food and snacks, see if anyone can sponsor that. And it's very critical. If you say food and drinks provided, people most likely will anticipate some sort of dinner, so probably pizza. So if you're just going to provide chips and drinks, make sure you say snacks instead of food. Otherwise, they'll expect something totally different. And then obviously, if any attendees need anything for the meetup as far as laptops and whatnot, please be sure to let them know that. And then step 5 is just a matter of spreading the word. So put it on Twitter, and then if you tag us or whatever, we'll be sure to help retweet and spread the word for you guys. Now, the other main thing to consider, obviously, with starting a meetup is organizer imposter syndrome. And so there's this kind of notion oh, you're not, I'm not an expert at Vue.js, and am I really qualified to be organizing it? Well, again, the key thing about meetups is that you're organizing a safe place for people to come to learn and to have questions. So don't feel like you have to be the know-it-all in order to be the one to start this up. And as far as the speakers and topics goes, there's a whole slew of topics. One of the things there is in the resources later on, there'll be a link to a repo, and in there there'll be topic suggestions and stuff for those that need ideas. But most importantly is that one of the things we did when we started this is to make sure that if there wasn't anyone who's going to be available to talk, we would be ready to kind of step up to the podium. But obviously, public speaking might not be for everyone. So other things to consider are, queuing up conference like Vue Amsterdam. You can queue up those talks as well. You watch it together, and then either go through some of the workshops together, make it a hack night. It doesn't have to be like a formal conference presentation style. And so as far as food ordering, just for those who haven't ordered sort of organized one before, meetups, because they're free events, you really want to anticipate about 30 to 40% of your attendance rate. We've made that mistake one too many times and had to give away lots of big boxes of pizza. So anyhow, so if anyone can do it, you can do it. And so If you have any questions, oh, here are some of the additional resources, and I'll be tweeting the slides later on. So yeah, if you have any questions and want to chat later on, please feel free to seek me out. So thanks again, everybody.